man.
Yeah, you need those to come out nice. Yeah, kind of string in there. How's it going, Robert?
Hello.
How's
How's it going with you guys? Huh? What's
how are
that?
things? How's your week been?
Oh, I'm still working on my project. Probably get Etsy launched next week. I got a meeting with that other guy, that Ed guy in that other group that we're in
Okay, yeah,
on
yeah,
Wednesday, and then I'm gonna finalize it from there. So,
yeah. That's good. That's good.
yeah. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good. You know, I've been 3D printing away. It's going on in the background right now. I don't know if you can hear that. Is it coming across the mic? Quite well.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
So I've been a lot into Hue Forge. I've been kind of diving in a bit deeper into that, kind of seeing what's possible, seeing what I can do, trying to make some of my own little color combinations and stuff. But
did you
yeah,
try that newest update yet?
I don't think I've tried it yet. Is it the color matching?
Well, yeah, and then he's supposed to have another like a hot fix coming out tomorrow. I don't know if you got the email from him, but he just released 8.0, I think, or point oh 0.08 or whatever it is, and it's he sent I saw an email today. It says he's going to release 8.801 or something tomorrow, so fix something in there.
Okay,
So
perfect, perfect.
Yeah,
yeah,
economic 6.
yeah,
Not just for us
Yeah,
lowly
this is
citizens,
yeah. I've done
the
several
great
things on that Hue Forge. It's a lot of fun.
S&P Global
yeah,
and
it's
Moody's.
pretty cool, isn't it?
What a credit rating. That's it.
How's it going?
John.
Yeah,
Moose.
Oh, man,
just
huh?
What's going
talking
on,
about
you
Hue
guys?
Forge.
You
Just
just
talking
called
about
into
Hue
the league.
Forge.
What do you want to raise?
Yeah, cool.
I'll make it a true daily double.
I didn't do
All right,
shit
you'll have
this week.
4,400
Just thought I'd let you know right up front.
Yeah,
It's
I hear that.
been
I
one of
hear that.
those. I've been dealing with health insurance and doctors and cars and the usual everyday grind bullshit.
All the
Uh,
above.
yeah, so here I am. Hey, Larry.
How's it going, Moose?
Hey. Um, I hope we get some people in here tonight. I thought that your invitation to the new guys was pretty cool, and I think that it'd be nice to see some faces. Hopefully.
Yeah, definitely. I think I try to be more proactive in trying to get people into the calls because some people kind of jump in, but trying to get more engagement and activity in a group, that kind of thing. So it's a slow progress, but definitely we'll get there.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think it's an intimidation thing.
And
Stan.
there he goes. Stan.
Yeah, but they gotta come here before they can see anything.
I know.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll
Stan,
definitely work on that though.
Your avatar looks pretty young there. Mine's a moose, so hey, what the fuck am I saying, right?
Yeah, yeah.
It's actually that one's probably from, gosh, a long time ago. Actually, I gotta fess up, guys. I'm gonna drop off and try to rejoin and see if this stupid camera resets. I'm sorry to be a pest.
That's all good. It's all good.
We're used to seeing you purple.
There we go.
It's kind of a thing now.
Yeah, but I make it look good, my friends.
It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool.
That's our business. Yeah.
Yeah, love it, love it. Yeah. So I've been working on a bit of the Hue Forge stuff. I've actually got this little model that I just took off the build plate. Let's try and show that to the camera.
Nice.
And this looks a
Oh, that came out
bit like
nice.
Stan, right? That's a bit like your color. With the camera.
Well, it is. It looks good. I mean, that's nice.
Yeah, it's pretty nice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Got a nice combination. I found that for this model, just going two colors, just the white and the blue, came out pretty nice. Before I had like a little bit of red in there. Let's get new in here.
So I think what you're doing is basically what the seashell test is, only you're using one of their pre-made uh, uh, PNG, I think it is. I'm not sure, but there's a whole folder full of those pictures.
Yeah, the
And you can
projects.
adjust, with two colors, it's easy to kind of more or less blend, And that's what the
100%.
seashell test is. That's basically all that is. And if you go on their Discord, if you own the software, there's a whole section of other people's seashell examples. And then the guy his nickname is Hugh Forge, Steve, will evaluate them. Hang on, somebody's at my door. I think it's my food.
Okay, no worries.
Hey.
Yeah, how's it going, Newt? Nice to see you here.
I knew.
Hey.
My camera's so like exposed.
Yeah, I've been all right. I've had this week off and have kind of been doing absolutely nothing at all. So
Love that. It's a nice holiday. You gotta have a break every now and again for sure.
yeah, my poor dog. Her arthritis started acting up though. I ended up having to take her to the vet this morning to get some pain meds.
Oh wow, that sucks.
Yeah. She'll be
Yeah.
all right though.
She's a strong one. She's a strong one.
Yeah, I'm surprised it hasn't bothered her before because it seems like it's really bothering her now all of a sudden. But hopefully the pain meds help her, and they gave me a new supplement to start giving her and stuff. So
Yeah.
she'll end up all right after a little bit.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. Got my Laudos 3D printer in the back. I don't know, is that coming across through the sound on here? I don't know if it's gonna pick
A
up.
little bit.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and move a bit away, but that should be fine. But yeah, how's 3D printing going? Have you been doing any of that, or it's been more chill?
Yeah, I've done a little bit this week, but again, I've mostly just been either on my couch or at a bar. So
Nice.
but,
Both good places. Spent many hours on both in myself.
Love it.
yeah,
That's good.
3D printed some snakes with Christmas hats.
Oh, nice.
Got
Good
those
touch.
and finally figured out that issue with under extrusion. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah.
What
Makes a big
was it?
difference.
I'm not sure exactly what was causing it, but I ended up being able to fix it by having it only use one wall on the first layer, and so then I guess it let the infill
One
cover more
what?
space. One wall on the first layer.
Why would that make a difference, I wonder?
Yeah, I think it's just because the middle part of the print is so like skinny that the infill was having issues like generating properly or something. So I guess
Yeah, it's
making
like a
it only
gap.
have one wall fix that.
I've never heard of that. Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah, it was very odd. I was very happy to finally fix
I mean,
it.
if there's an infill, if there's you got enough, 2, 3, 4 walls or whatever you use, and then top and bottom, it shouldn't have any issue with that. I can't imagine why that would cause under extrusion.
Yeah, and it may just be like I got a couple bad rolls because I've never used this filament before, and from what I had been reading, a lot of people have issues with those.
What printer are you on with that?
I have a Bamboo P1S.
Did you try calibrating that new filament?
Yeah, I ended up doing that, and
What
that
did
helped.
you
But
What
it
did you get
didn't-
for that?
I'm sorry.
What kind of a number did you get for that? Like 02 or something?
That's a good question. I don't remember.
Oh, yeah.
But-
I know on my P1S, it makes a big difference. That a little bit of that calibration. I was surprised.
Yeah, it was definitely off from what it should have been, but it definitely did help. It just didn't like completely resolve the issue. So, but
Could have been thin walls too.
yeah,
Some printers just want to be twitchy. My Neptune 3 Plus, I was fooling with it today. I had it on Clipper, It never wanted to behave well on Clipper. It's the only printer I've ever had that Clipper made things worse rather than better and didn't add much speed. And I tell you, the Z offset on that printer is so persnickety. It's got the adjustment knobs on either side. It's kind of a pain to get dialed in. Once it probes, everything looks flat, but that Z offset, the difference between having an incomplete first layer and a torn up nozzle dragging first layer is about 0.04 of a millimeter. That's just freaking nuts. You know, I don't shoot for those kind of numbers in my machine at the time, for goodness sakes. But yeah, that's been my fun today. What brand filament was giving you a hard time?
It was eSun's matte PLA. And like I had used their regular PLA Plus for this, literally the same file, and it was perfect. But for whatever reason, I guess their matte filament is known for having issues that I was not aware of. So.
Well, you know, another thing I came across recently, I have a QID QID XMAX Pro and XMAX 3. And that's got a similar long Bowden tube to get to the print head to go through the machine to get to it, sort of like the Bamboo does. And I had a couple of filaments that the drag on the filament was more than, you know, different filaments like mats and certain ones can have a lot of drag. If you try pushing them through a tube and see, you can feel it. Get a couple of feet of Bowden tube and try that, and you'll see that certain filaments are really snippety about that whole path getting to the print head, and that can cause that was causing under extrusion on my QID. I couldn't figure it out. I was like, what the heck is going on here? And you know, because this machine's been like a rock, it's just solid the way it prints, but
it's the abrasiveness.
Yeah, and so what I ended up doing was taking out a piece of the Bowden tube coming from my desiccant box, getting right to the main part of the printer, and that solved it because I had this massive under extrusion and I could not. I'm like, what? So I just want to mention that abrasive, certain filaments have a lot of abrasiveness. Yeah.
I have to get genuine non-counterfeit Capricorn tubing to put on my Ender 5S1 because the stock Re-Education Camp manufactured Teflon tube-like object was something other than round and smooth on the interior. And it was okay with a fairly hard, shiny surfaced filament like Polymaker's PLA Pro. But boy, you let anything else in there and it just kind of went south. Not that I've ever managed to get an excellent print out of Polymaker Polyterra in my life on any printer, but I hear some folks miraculously done it, and once or twice I managed to get some that wasn't hideous. So
yeah.
But yeah, filaments are all over. The QID PLA, the high-speed PLA that QID provides, that stuff will not print worth a darn except at high speed. And even there, it's iffy. It will not print nicely. It prints okay on a Bamboo A1 Mini. It does not print at all on a Clipper Ender 3 V2 that's got linear rails and kicks. It doesn't print worth a damn on an Ender 5S1, but not many things do. That's been a disappointment printer.
What's it doing on the prints that looks wrong, or what's wrong with them?
You just don't get a good clean definition, regardless of the temp, and you get a lot of stringing. I ran stringing towers, I ran temp calibrations, and I've been doing this a good while. I dropped back. I know to drop back and punt. And because it's on multiple printers, I'm not inclined to blame the nozzle. I've had the bad nozzle that squirts the lovely straight bead of filament down to the bed turn out to be what was causing stringing once or twice in my life, and wasted a day doing all the technical, complicated, let's go play engineer, and then out of desperation swap the nozzle and have the problem go away. But on multiple printers, I'm not buying it. But I'm converting some of my printers over to probably going to keep a couple of them on a 0.2 millimeter nozzle, because most of what I do is small model related stuff. So
I have one of those on my Mini, and my Bamboo A1 Mini, and boy, I tell you, that thing will print some detail.
oh, it's wonderful, isn't it? And
Nice.
I think it's called Tomb of Unknown Horrors.
Oh yeah, I've heard of them.
He's got he has special. He's come up with some really super tuned profiles for printing minis on an A1 Mini with a 0.08 millimeter layer height, and he's knocking out 32 millimeter minis that until you get real close up to it, looking through the bottom of your bifocals, maybe with optivisors on, once you hit it with some primer and some paint, you'd be hard pressed to tell whether it was a filament or a resin print. Really quite
Yeah, so
impressive.
thing.
I've heard of
The resin like filament prints, right?
You know, but what the heck?
Stan, if you could throw his URL in the text boxes, that'd be great. Because I've heard of this guy, but I've never seen. I don't think I've run into his stuff.
Let
he's
me
like-
find it.
He's like the king of filament miniatures. He's like the king on YouTube.
Yeah, he's really got a lot of stuff. I'll jump over and find it. I know it's in my subscription, and I don't want to give you the wrong.
Well, yeah, I mean, it doesn't have to be this second. I just does he have filaments, or does he sponsor or somehow be affiliated with?
No, he's not selling anything.
Okay.
And he does sell something. He sells the profile. I will say that he charges like $2 or something for it. He's not so.
There's somebody in the Discord earlier today that was talking about a blood red filament that they bought, and it was similar named, and I'm just getting old and confused, but at any rate, yeah. So that kind of sort of brings me to the only thing that I found new today is this filament, which you probably can't read because it's upside down and backwards, but it's Coax Company, and they're in Wisconsin, I believe, and they make their own filament, and I will dump that place in the copy box there. Let's see where I went with it. But it's really beautiful. It's like this blood red color, and it's basically transparent, but it's a real deep color. And so anyway, that's the only real fun stuff I've gotten this past week.
That's cool. Because reds are usually either boring or they're garish, but they're not really cool.
I haven't actually unwrapped this yet. This is in the factory pack, but it has to be printed hotter than normal PLA, according to them. They have printer profiles on their website for their particular filaments. It's all made from virgin plastic. It's all made in the United States, and it's not expensive. This was I want to say this was $24 for this spool, and I don't recall how much I paid for shipping, or even if I did pay for shipping on this one. But
this one there.
yeah, check out their website. Is got some fancy stuff.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm trying to figure out how on earth I'm supposed to write a check with an L in the front of it. Huh?
this was a not so
I did
blown
pop
review.
up the Zoom 3D printed horrors in the chat, by the way.
Oh yeah, I clicked onto that. So which one is it?
Yeah.
It's probably one of the popular ones.
Man, that almost looks silky.
Yeah, this one here is 6 years ago.
It is very boy, I've tried to get my cell phone camera to connect to the computer last week, and I just put it down. I stopped
Wow.
doing it. This is very let's see this
You see these
probably-
miniatures here?
That's a 32 millimeter miniature
that's pretty good.
off of
That's
Bamboo
insane.
A1.
Yeah.
A1 Mini. Matter of fact, he also compared the A1 Mini versus the A1 for printing miniatures, and they were really close. But when you got in real close on things like the inner edge where the tongue of the belt buckle would hinge, he was able to pick up some differences between the A1 and A1 Mini. Not being a gamer,
Okay.
I don't think I'd worry about that too much. I like stuff big enough that I can see it to paint. But you know,
Yeah,
lot
but
of miniature people do amazing stuff. I will mention that Polymaker PLA Pro, I found it is very strange on the A1 Mini. It does not like or enjoy using organic, the tree supports. It seems to work much better using the traditional support structures with a top Z of at least twice the layer height. Then things come out with minimal scarring. I also found that it wanted to string, and this is totally bass-ackwards to what you usually deal with. Normally when you got stringing, you know, you've either got a retraction problem, you're printing too hot, your cooling's screwed, something like that. My stringing went away when I bumped the nozzle temp from 205 up to 225.
That's pretty weird.
Don't ask me.
That's very weird. I've
I'm
never heard
looking
of
at this doesn't make a darn bit of sense, but I think it was because there was probably a lot of getting caught up in those, you know, the traditional
I
support.
think your audio's a bit low, Stan.
what about mixing like supports? So you know, if you're printing PLA and you use PETG for your supports or vice versa,
Yeah.
I hear that that's a thing. You know, if you have the AMS or AMS Lite, you can do that now with new slicer versions.
Yeah, you're gonna dump a lot. You're gonna put a lot of stuff down the poop chute. I think if I was doing that, I would just say bag it and get an IDEX printer.
That's
I mean,
another
if I-
thing where you can just do the interface
So-
layer. So you can
Yeah.
so it doesn't have to print the whole support, it's just the interface layer for where it connects.
Oh, okay, that's
Yeah, so I've done it with a couple of my models. But with one of the Jeep models I actually printed it and used PETG as the interface, and it came off really clean. And
nice.
not having to use any special. And I've done some PETG printing with PLA interface. It's a little trickier, but it worked.
Nice. I have to try that for sure.
That's neat. Okay, I'm just gonna have to break down and order my A1 and an AMS before Mr. Trump's tariffs go in. I've been looking at stuff that I've wanted for a while, going 60% tariffs. My
Oh, wow.
God, I better start to burn a little credit right the heck now, because
Yeah.
no way I'm going to justify it if that happens.
I want to,
I'm
guys.
just going to leave it there. That's not a political diatribe. That's just a, you know, if you're in the U.S. and you're thinking about stuff, it may have an effect on us.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm worried
nice.
about that too. I think that's going to
Exactly.
raise up a lot of this Chinese stuff. So
Yeah.
So see the pinkish on there?
Yeah.
That's the interface PETG that I used.
You sure that's not my?
Okay.
You sure that's not my webcam that did that before you? Before I dropped out and rejoined.
Definitely.
That's my
Silver
traditional
shade.
magenta there. Hey, you got a license from me, dude.
So all that stuff and everything, and I use a regular support in there, and when everything cooled down, I just broke it off and then took my thumbnail and got a couple of small pieces that were hanging on there. That was it.
That's cool.
No scarring, no grungies, no.
Nope.
What kind of Z were you able to use? A very minimal Z height, so you didn't get any.
So I left the stock Z height. I changed. Let's see here. I
you should
did
be able to use that.
change.
I should say the top Z height for the offset of the.
So my top Z distance I kept at 0.2, which is default.
Okay.
I changed my top interface layer to 3, so I had a little buffer there. Normally I run it to 1, and then my interface pattern was the and let's see, the
You dropped audio.
interface pattern was recliner interlace. I used the interlace recliner so that it made it easier to come off since it slowed it down and everything. And my my interface spacing went to 0.
Wow.
Yeah, you
Impressive.
should be able to do 0 on any like PETG and PLA, and then or the bamboo support material like on PLA. That defaults to 0 on that, and it works great.
Right.
Nice.
As long as
I
you
haven't
just
even
choose it
opened
for
that.
the interface
I
and
haven't
not
even
use it for the
opened
whole
that up.
support. Oh, that
Oh,
stuff
me
that
either.
works great. You just
Yeah.
got to remember to set it only to the interface. Otherwise, it's expensive. It's like 30 some bucks for a 500 gram roll. But if you only
I
set
know.
it to interface, it'll last forever. I've had a roll that I've used that barely looks touched. So
That's why I'm like, I'll save that for something critical that I'm working on. So
Oh, you're gonna
Big
try a new
project.
material on the job that must not fail. You are a brave guy.
Good point.
Always fun.
Yeah.
hey, I'll try it before I do it. But
Yeah.
like I said, at least I know the PETG works, so I don't have to go get anything special.
True.
And you
Yeah.
know, when
Keep
worse
stuff.
comes, when worse comes to worse, just keep some of the best quote I ever heard from Elon Musk was, "Success is one possible outcome."
Nice. Oh
I
yeah,
appreciate
Newt, I don't think you saw my my updated Hue Forge. So this is the second version. I saw you commented on the first one that I put. So this is my second Hue Forge. Yeah, awesome stuff. I'll put a post up in the group so people can see the second version of that.
I made that comment. It's art, so you can't really say it's bad or good or whatever. If you like it, it's great, right?
Good point. Oh,
Either
yeah, I
that
was
or
gonna.
treat it like I used to teach guitar years ago, and I'd tell my students, well, if you hit a bad note, hit it again and a couple more times and call it jazz.
Nice.
That works.
I like it.
Those are Frank
Yeah,
Zappa.
so I was gonna
Jazz
quickly.
is dead. It just smells funny.
I was going to quickly talk about so today I went like local to my local shops and stuff like that, talking about my 3D prints. So I bought like a little bag, just a couple like examples of 3D prints, and just went shop to shop asking about basically doing a little show and tell. And I came across one guy. I went to like a tailor and I was just kind of showing him the 3D prints, and there's a guy in there and he had like a uniform on, and he ended up like working for a funeral home. And when I showed him one of the lithophanes, he was like, "That's actually a great idea for like a funeral thing, like a service where you can have a picture of obviously a family, a loved one." So he said, "Come back there tomorrow. The manager's gonna be in there, and then obviously I can have a chat with him." So I was like, "That's a really good idea." And like later in the day, I spoke to one of my friends, and he had recently like lost his father, right? And after I showed him one of these, he said, "Yeah, I could actually use that and have like a picture of me and my dad in this lithophane." And obviously when you put it up to the light, it does obviously the cool effect. So it's like symbolic, almost like a kind of like angelic figure type of thing, right? So I was like, yes, that's a great idea. So I'd love to kind of see and be able to create lithophanes in that kind of like realm, because that would be like a really good service to give to people.
Did you talk about pricing at all? Have you thought about that?
Nah, so I didn't really talk about pricing. So today was like my first day properly like going around showing people 3D prints like in a proper way. So I didn't really talk about pricing. I just want to kind of get the word out there a little bit, kind of gauge what people thought. But I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm gonna go tomorrow morning to a couple places, and yeah, just kind of gauge that. I was thinking to go to another area down the road. It's like the next town over. So those guys have a bit more. They have like a lot more shops, and it's like a nicer area, so they have a bit more money to spend. So I was like, okay, this could be a good idea. So I'll do the rounds over there and kind of see what they say. So it'll be interesting. Yeah.
What
Don't
town?
forget.
What was that?
What town?
Oh, so it's a town called. It's like in the UK, obviously. It's called St Albans. So it's
Oh.
like near London.
Yeah, I know where it's at.
Oh, nice.
Mike is up
Frequent
late.
London.
Okay.
I know he is. He's 8 hours ahead of us now. Ahead of me. I mean, it's only 4:34 here. So
Nice. Yeah. So that'll be a very interesting one. Oh yeah, I tried to hit up the bakery. They told me to come the next day because the manager wasn't in. Obviously, who was it that told me about the teddy bear print? Remember the little teddy bear with the tray?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking about that one for the bakery. So I'll show them
Yeah,
like a
I
little
feel-
picture and see what they say.
Well, and you can tell them it's food safe too.
You say it's what safe? Oh, food safe.
Food safe. Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Nice. Yeah,
Isn't
looking forward to that.
Isn't PLA food safe? I thought it was.
Yeah.
Yeah, the PLA
Well,
is perfectly
depends.
safe. The grooves in it aren't.
Yeah, it's
What's
like
that?
the layer lines.
Everything, Robert.
Well,
Yeah.
that guy did that study a year and a half ago, and proved that 3D prints are just as safe as anything else in dishware, because he did a scientific study of it and proved that if you wash it just like regular dishes, it should be just fine, because the little gaps that everybody used to think about, oh well, it's got gaps or layers, it's food's going to stick in there, but if food can get in there, so can dish soap. So
Okay.
right.
Yeah.
And Pet G, you can put into a dishwasher.
well, that I haven't tried. I don't have a dishwasher. I'd be nervous, but I bet you could do it on at least the top layer.
Well,
Take
yeah.
next time you're renting a place for a couple of days, take it with you. Use it in the rental place.
Good point. Leave him a little gift.
Actually, Mike, you were talking about the bakery. It's time for you to break down and build one of those chocolate printers.
Good point.
I
Good
looked
point.
at that.
I don't know if you have people doing that over there. I imagine there are. I
Is
know
that
Pretty
like
cool. Yeah.
it's big here in the U.S.
$2,000 or something, was it? I can't remember. I looked that up actually a couple days ago.
It's open sourced,
Yeah.
Okay. Nice.
but I mean, it does, because of the viscosity of the chocolate and the fact that you've got some real balancing between the tempering and the crystallization temperature of the media you're working in, which I know way off of 3D printing. We're wandering into the kitchen now instead of the shop, but I don't,
3D chocolate printing.
3D chocolate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a big thing.
Yeah.
And they, you'll see it at or at most of the Rep Rap festivals. And the woman who developed it is in really tight with E3D and a couple of the other manufacturers, and they're all really supporting each other and doing a lot of things. Very cool. I had a nice conversation with her at the East Coast Rep Rap Festival a year and a couple of days ago. And yeah, very interesting. I mean, a lot of material science going on there. It's not just a hot water bath and a squirt syringe.
I take it back on the price. I see they have a kit for that cocoa press for $1,500. So,
It's not bad.
but they're
It's pricey.
that one. I think it's supposed to start shipping pretty quick. But
Okay.
Well,
I mean, if I still had my restaurant, I'd probably go for that because I could definitely have some fun with that.
I got to tell you guys a story. When I was about 8 or 9 years old, I grew up in a town where the first Nestle chocolate factory in the United States was built. And in the early 1910s, 1900s. And so it's an old building with a bunch of extra buildings built around it. It's gone now. But when I was around that age, there was a loading dock that we used to love to raid. So a bunch of us kids would go over there, and one kid would distract the guy that works in that area, while the other 2 or 3 of us would, like the dogs on stilts, where you have like 3 dogs and there's one in a trench coat on the top. And we got up on that loading dock and raid it was a returns good area, so that there were big industrial laundry bins on wheels with nothing but chocolate in them. And we would steal the chocolate out of there if we could get away with it. And more than once, we'd have the worker would have us by the arms, and my friends or our friends would be pulling us from the loading dock like this. But anyway, one day, and this is why I want to bring the story up, because we're talking about extruding chocolate and how much goes into that. If you walked on the sidewalk along the edge of the original building and you look down, they used to have the square glass tile windows that were small, but they were kind of opaque, but you could see the green glass. But you could see down in that area, and it was a huge floor, and they had these, I forget what they call them, but they're huge rollers that go like this back and forth in these huge vats of chocolate.
Yep.
And when I say huge, I mean they probably held 150, maybe 200 gallons of chocolate.
Wow.
One particular day, I was coming back from the river with my towel over my arm, and I'm just walking along in my sandals, and I look down, and here's this worker standing next to one of those vats, looked directly at me, and then hawked this huge wad of chewing tobacco into one of those vats.
No way.
And I will never, this is like a core memory of mine.
What?
So when you guys started talking about extruding chocolate, and I'm thinking, oh shit.
I will assure you that the food industry, I used to have to go into slaughterhouses, packing plants, and poultry places when I was doing contract work for immigration. And I assure you, there are certain brands that I would not eat for years.
Yeah.
Now, I had some of the best steak lunches in my life out in the West, because, you don't get good steaks east of the Mississippi.
Yeah.
And my God, Dodge City. That's kind of funny, though, coming out after you eat lunch and you're walking out and the chute's coming in. Longhorn stops, looks at you, and goes, "Moo." I looked up and I said, "I hope you're as good tasting as your brother." And from that point on, I was in solid with all the folks that worked at that plant. They're like, "Oh, you're an ag guy too. We can get along."
Yeah, I remember the yards in Topeka, driving through there and seeing the odor of the whole city just smelled.
Oh God! You go to Dodge City, you come home. You open up your luggage outside and you leave it outside. And that's if you were smart and stayed on the west end of town. If you were on the east end at the yards, forget it. Yeah, just go hillbilly. Take paper bags. You're gonna throw it out when you get home.
Pretty rank, yeah. Yeah, but I'll never forget that tobacco. I will go to my death room just burnt my brain.
Yep,
That's a
Westinghouse
whole new story.
cafeteria. When people smoked inside,
Yeah,
they'd be smoking while they were serving food. Ash would drop in. They could wait on top of the ash.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Oh man.
And that was back when Nestle actually made decent chocolate, by the way. Nowadays it's garbage, but they closed that plant and others, and I don't know what happened to them, but it's
Yeah, Hershey's gone from Pennsylvania. I mean, they're long gone too.
yeah. So anyway, on
Well,
that,
anyway, we've derailed everything you wanted to do tonight, Michael. Sorry about that.
What was that?
We derailed everything you thought you were going to get to tonight. I'm sorry.
Oh, no, it's chill. You know, just kind of go on the flow. Yeah, I'm just going with it.
so
I'm doing a nice little print on the side. It's like another school group, and it's like the kind of picture, kind of logo-ish thing, but like in a Hugh Ford style. So it's coming out pretty good so far. It's looking nice. Yeah.
Second link I pasted in the messages is a guy who has shown how the new Bamboo Labs TPU can be interlaced with other hard plastics like there we go.
Yeah.
So now the new Bamboo Lab is allowing you to be able to take the TPU and weave it with hard plastic like a PLA. So
Wow.
this is if you fast forward that just a little bit, he shows you where there's a practical application, like if you want to use that's how it's done.
It's a compliant joint.
Yes, and if you do it correctly, you can do things like put rubberized lips, like squeegees. There we go, right here.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
he's figured out how to weave that. That soft plastic is on the end of the hard plastic. That's new. That's something that's gonna probably be pretty
interesting.
Be able to do, yeah.
But I mean, for like robotics and kinematics, grippers, that kind of thing.
Yeah, there we go.
It's just a lot of people are having problems with the new TPU for the AMS because that's what they're using there.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've heard that. It's not that the TPU is bad; it's their production has been sloppy, is what I hear on the Discords anyway.
That's what I'm hearing. It's a lot of people are having problems because it's sloppy, and it's probably because they were trying to put it out too quick. You know.
If you watch the beginning of that video, he goes into detail on how that happens and what it's called and how to fix it. But yes, that is definitely an issue, and for what it's worth.
But there's other companies out there that actually have a flexible PLA as well. So I saw that and I was thinking, oh, and then Bamboo Lab came out with the AMS TPU because I was like, ooh, I wonder if I can run the flexible PLA through the AMS.
Yeah, you know what you could do is you just have to get a flexible filament that's not that flexible. So like obviously it has the rating. You can go for like 97, 98A, and that's like it can bend a little bit. It's still gonna be quite tough, but it's hard enough where it can pass through the AMS and not have too many problems. Slow down print speed, obviously. Right. Yeah. Yeah,
I've printed 95 without any issues, but I haven't tried to print any of the super soft stuff.
Yeah, good luck with that.
I haven't needed. Well, I don't have an AMS, but I've never felt a need to. If I need anything that soft, I got a caulk gun and silicone caulk. I can squirt it on. I mean, at some point, you just say, "Well, what am I doing?" Obviously, I'm making some compliant structure. That's an old skill. That's been done forever.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask about the I was gonna ask about the next meeting for next week. Obviously Thursday is Thanksgiving, right? So I was thinking
Right.
about moving it to Wednesday instead. So just the day before. What do you guys think?
Whatever works
Probably,
for everybody's okay
probably,
with me. I'm
probably a good idea.
Yeah.
I'd be good with it.
Okay, sweet.
here because Thursday night, yeah, we'll be probably doing pizza.
Sounds good. Yeah.
So
I might cook Chinese, maybe Mongolian beef.
I like it.
It's wonderful being, a retired couple. You don't have to do those societal normal functions any longer.
Nice.
So, Michael, what do we need to do to help get more people in here? I mean, these small groups like this, I mean, we've all kind of got to know each other and we're your regulars. So how do we get more people in so we can talk about the topics that you keep posting about?
And money.
Right. I'd say I'd say like more engagement in a group. So obviously there's more engagement happening, so that's good. Just kind of keep posting more comments. Maybe even reaching out to the other
A lot of
members
that's
and
from us.
messaging them. Yeah. Which is good though. The more kind of ongoing conversations and engagement we have, the more people kind of start to slowly trickle in. I've seen like comments from other people as well, some new people. So that's just like a work in progress. But yeah, as long as we keep it kind of going with the engagement, maybe even like reaching out to other members and sending messages, asking how the 3D printing is going or where they're from, just that kind of thing, and then start engaging and see, and this will slowly kind of happen over time. That's my thinking.
This is an interesting group, though, because it's not like the Reddit groups. I mean, after you've written the same answer or copy and pasted the same, watch your first layer. If your first layer sucks, your print will suck. And dry your filament and clean your nozzle and blah, blah, blah.
Calibrate
blah,
your
blah.
filament in the bamboos, because everybody's like, well, I just print and go. And it's, I'm like, okay.
And you're getting crap results. What a surprise. Call me stunned.
When you calibrate and tune your filament for your printer, whether it's a Bamboo Lab filament or freaking $50 roll of PLA Aero Light and everything, who wants to waste filament? Calibrate and tune it for what you're doing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And this isn't the kind of group where those obvious, pointless, why am I even here anymore type thing. Once the novelty wears off of, oh, there's a bunch of other people doing this. This group is interesting in that everybody here has a clue, and everybody here has done real stuff. And we may not all be doing the same stuff, and that's fine and dandy. But if we got a question, the odds are somebody else in this little pocket of folks, right? There's the camera. In this little bunch of people here.
Right.
Yeah, God, I look like one of those horrible politicians waving a crone finger at people, don't I? But, the odds are that someone else has run into it. And
we're all learning different things from each other too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean,
ideas, but the thing there is that how do you grow it without turning it into this market, the general? To be an egalitarian prick. How do we keep the unwashed masses out while invading the nation? And that's always a problem in any technical group.
I have a quick question. So I did a poll. I'll quickly share my screen. We can have like a quick little chat. So I was thinking about like creating content, like maybe a weekly thing. So I made this post. There's a little poll. Yeah, this one here.
The one that you posted today. Yeah.
Yeah. What would you rather have? So like just kind of different content ideas. I want to kind of get you guys' opinion. So we got some results here. Got 2 votes here. So it's a bit of a spread. I saw that each one had 1 vote, and then it's got some kind of stacking up a little bit.
Right.
So yeah, which ones? I don't know. Yeah, which ones kind of stand out to you guys? Obviously, a few of you have voted on this one, isn't it?
I was going to say, I'll almost bet that almost all of us here have voted.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't have a horse in the race because I'm not looking to make money from 3D printing, which puts me as a separate entity. I'm a nerd and an engineering nerd type who's retired.
You're just a weird freak, Stan.
Oh yeah, definitely so. I mean, I've been flying the freak flag for at least 55 years now. It's like you're not going to set anybody
That's
off.
strong. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah. Okay.
I didn't vote because I'm not interested in selling on Etsy. I am looking for real niche places that I'm not sure how to describe it exactly, but I guess I know that they exist. There are places out there that people go to buy certain. I hesitate to use the word exotic, but I'll use the word exotics. And so, you know, Etsy, you go on there and you see the same 11 things by 15,000 people. And of course, the same applies to all of your maker spaces, Thingiverse,
Right.
things and all that. All right. But there are real niche websites out there, and I'm blanking on one or two to give an example of, but those are the places I'm curious about, because I don't think that what I sell is so special to Etsy customers. They want articulated dragons. They don't want, I think, lithographs and HueForge type stuff of personalized
made to
I
order.
don't know.
Thank you. Made to order. Okay.
Look on Maker World. You'll see where all these people are saving, downloading, liking some of those lithopanes and things. So you may get an idea there and be able to throw something simple enough that's customizable that will catch their niche.
Right.
I mean, I hate to say it, that's why I spend a lot of time on Facebook. I see these guys trying to put things out there, and there's people with there's people out there with that are in the groups, in the Facebook groups, that are all their stuff, and they have Patreons up there. So,
well, again, that's the Maker World is like a generic. There's great stuff on there. Don't get me wrong, but if I were a person, for instance, I went to the doctor's yesterday, and while I was checking in, I was sitting there across the counter from a girl, taking my information, and she had a name plaque on her table in front of her that was obviously 3D printed. And I said, oh, I can do these. Where did you find these? And she said, oh, Jenna over there in booth 3 found them on Amazon. So I shouted, Jenna, I'm coming over. And we talked, and she said she went on Amazon, and for, I don't know, $1 a letter, she got and she picked the script, and she, picked the size, and she custom ordered those name tag plates for everybody that was sitting there at the counter. I mean, that intrigued me. That's the kind of thing I would be enjoying doing, rather than just pumping out, whatever. You can find 5,000 dragons in 10 minutes. But
well, I've done nameplates like that and everything for at work. We didn't have nameplates, and I did mine and a couple others, and now the job's kind of looking, maybe because we do have a printer there, that they want to upgrade the printer so that we're able to just do them at work. But I put the logo on there.
And then there are things like buttons and name tags, and that's where the lithograph, where I showed you guys how I did my color print and made that picture of a guy onto the plastic. That's kind of the stuff. There's the real strong urge for me to do that kind of stuff. I honestly think if I could own a UV printer, if I could afford that kind of thing, I would own one and I would use it. I think I could make serious money with it.
They're not
Right.
too
Right.
expensive.
I mean,
you know? They're not too expensive.
You know,
these are the ones I made, and that's 2 of our company logos. So
Sure.
Nice.
Bingo.
That's good.
a guy that worked for me at Lockheed, he ran our help desk operations for immigration and for customs and Secret Service. He had a T-shirt business.
Yeah.
It was on one part of his garage, and it was just T-shirt. And what he went after was these big family reunions,
Well, nice.
where he'd get
Yeah.
orders for 100, 150 shirts. Most of them weren't customized. You know, they were the Goober Snot Family Reunion Shindig 2021 or whatever.
Exactly.
And Von Zell was just ripping these things out. And he said, hey, this gig's going to come to an end eventually. And when it does, I got kids to feed. And he was making, by the time he left, and I mean, he was a hell of a good guy. And he did a great job running a complicated help desk with over 200,000 users worldwide. And the poor guy had to support software I wrote, so he definitely was a bold man.
oh, no wonder he was ready to retire.
Yeah. He was a heck of a guy. And he was all set. He was not at all concerned about his financial welfare because he had his plan B that he could just roll over into and dial it up. And that's like you were talking about the UV printers.
Yes.
It's like there is a point where you need the ability to produce a sufficient volume to generate a large enough revenue stream. And 3D printing remains a somewhat slow process, unfortunately. But
Enough printers, isn't it?
yeah, are you going to be a maker or a manufacturer? And that's a different mindset. So,
Yeah.
So, we're going to go away in 2 minutes.
Yeah, so I had a quick question. So the stuff, you know, obviously the different things in the poll. What if I did like one of each so people could kind of see what the potential is and then kind of get people to gauge from there maybe? I'm not too sure if that's something that people want, if it's that big of a deal, if
Try
it's
it.
useful. I'm trying to figure that.
I say try it. I mean, you've got 5 people here that, you know, I mean, we engage. So
Yep.
even if Stan's not trying to sell, he's got something to say, he'll say it. So,
For sure.
you know,
yeah,
and if we're trying to grow this group, I mean, you know, we can either get more people like us or we're going to get people asking a lot more questions that we can help out. One or the other.
good point.
What's
good
it
point.
matter?
Yep, and either way is fine. But
Yeah,
it would be
like
nice to get some more people and a little more variety and a lot
Yeah,
more
so
people.
the meeting's gonna cut out.
Exactly.
But yeah, next Wednesday we'll do the meeting rather than Thursday. It's gonna cut
Good
off.
for
But
me,
yeah,
by
good
the way.
seeing you guys.
Yeah, we're good on Wednesday. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome,
right.
man. All right, take care, guys.
Hope to see y'all next week.
Thanks.
Be
Yeah,
good.
see ya.
Bye, dude.
Will do.
Bye.
Bye.
Folks.